I'm like banned on every platform except for TikTok, and now TikTok's getting banned. But I'm not banned on Truth Social. I'm on Trump's platform. That's where I post every single post now. I am running for president, though. And I'm running for president for the beautiful senior citizen women that aren't necessarily the most beautiful, but they're very normal, and they're guaranteed to go vote. And they know that I'm a very romantic man, and that deep down, all I want to do is have an orgy with Athena clones. I really am running for president, and like I really like can't get weed other than shatter, but it's not. It's live rosin. It's like the strongest stuff, but like, I mean, I don't really care. What happened is the FBI comes around trying to arrest me back before I never did anything, and like, but like, and then like just recently I found out my dad wrote the movie Full Metal Jacket. Like, have you seen Full Metal Jacket? Like, you think it's about like training for the military and like brainwashing to kill, but it turns out that like it's about like sex trafficking, like Asian girls from Vietnam. The United States government cannot confirm or deny the allegations that there were soldiers in Vietnam kidnapping Vietnamese girls and selling them into sex trafficking, and that the Kennedy family was partnering with my father, who is Private Joker, but he was actually the Duke, and that's how I figured it out. Like, if you watch it, like, he always talks about John Wayne. Well, my dad was the Duke in Vietnam. Like, he was there before the Tet Offensive, and like he's told me a lot of stories. Like, they were killing a lot of our troops, like, purposely. Like, people that knew about the sex trafficking, like, they ended up just murdering them. But like the FBI showed up to arrest me, like, because like I was like documenting the thoughts in my head, because like people have neural interfaces, and like the media is like that in control of everything, and like they don't want you to know that like there are computers that can get put in your head and that people can put thoughts in your head, because like the people in charge are from the Order of Melchizedek. They are people in the drug trafficking business. That's soldier guarding poppy fields where they were growing like heroin. Which, like, I'm not against like poppy fields for sure. Like, I'm very in favor of poppy fields, but I'm not in favor of heroin. So here from the writings of Origin, we see that like there are these people that are like very concerned with people's praying, because like like these people were brainwashed to believe in God, and they knew that you need to pray to get healed and stuff like that. And like they're saying, well, you might not want to pray to Christ, you might want to pray to God Himself. And then at the very bottom, the underlined part, consequently, the remaining possibility is that we should pray only to the God and Father of all, yet not without the high priest, who was appointed with an oath according to the verse, he was sworn in, will not change his mind. You are a priest forever after the order of Melchizedek. So the order of Melchizedek like has been in charge always, and like they were in charge of the Catholic Church, and like you had to pay alms, and like it was a taxation system, and it was a way of tricking people system. And eventually what happened is that my family had other people in the family, and they took over the power of like what would be the Holy Spirit, which is like a neural interface technology which allows you to like put thoughts in people's heads and to like communicate like without actually talking. Like I'm to the point that like I'm like I feel like I could understand, like I could fully get the technology in like probably 2 years. So there are a lot of clones. Like, I took this screenshot from the Tim McGraw music video with Taylor Swift, and I always wonder, like, was it me? Because like when I hear Tim McGraw, like, do I think of her? Like, I think she would think of me if she heard Tim McGraw or Garth Brooks for sure, or Kenny Chesney. Like, everyone would think Kenny Chesney when they think of me. At least like everyone that like dated me then. But I think it was probably like Jake Gyllenhaal's clone. Like, that's what it feels like. There are a lot of like she dated other people too, and I was much smaller back then. Which, while I'm thinking about it, this is from Kanye West's music video Jesus Walks. He says, "I got packs to move. A pack is a 10 pack, which is like 1,000 hits of LSD. It's 10 vials of LSD." And like so when he has packs to move, like he's talking about LSD to move. But like here, she's a prostitute, and here this guy is dead. And like I think that like a lot of the murders happen related to prostitution. Okay, so what were we talking about? Order Melchizedek. Like, there are all these clones, right? And like we decided to clone some people. We saved them. Do I think we saved this girl from Bad Flowers music video Promise Me? I mean, I do know her as a child. Like, I always liked her, and like she was older than me. And like you don't know what older means when you're like super little. Like you just know older no matter what. It's like, well, she's very old. Like I feel like different heights can make people very confused about like what it means to be old and like different ages being around you. I was like the little kid on South Park. I used to be like that small and I had no idea what was small, and like I thought I was grown up, but like we'd go to the Village Inn and we'd unscrew the light bulb and like we would drink coffee and smoke cigarettes, and like there's a little kid sitting there smoking cigarettes at the Village Inn, like see the ashtray, and that's like kind of the story of the South Park goth. So like the little kid, he's not a conformist, I promise. Like me, I'm not a conformist. Like, do you know how much I want to like wear my Lizzie sweater right now? Because everyone knows I'm gonna marry Lizzie Grant, right? I decided on Lizzie Grant, Lana Del Rey. Like we have songs about each other, and like clearly, like I'm confused about when Lizzie was Lizzie and when she wasn't. But like, I mean, clearly, like I mean, we know each other. Like I don't know the situation. Like I think she was supposedly Erica Buckowitz. But clearly, I'm the South Park goth kid, and that's what I was actually talking about. Is like me not knowing my age, like me thinking that I'm like a grown up, like I'm like that. That's a ninth grader. My understanding is that some of the girls think it's hot, like when like you're that much younger, but then like you're grown up, you're the same height, like you're like fit, and like you're like, and they just know that kid skipped every freaking grade. He's the smartest person here. This girl went to college with me, and I am very doing a very good job of covering her because she's actually naked, and I think I'm allowed to do that as long as she's 100% covered. But like everyone knows her as Kayla, and like it is weird when you find your friends all doing OnlyFans. But I have no idea how old I am ever, and like what I do know is that I spent a lot of time in the Middle East. I studied under the head spy to Israel, like, and I studied under another guy who briefs generals, like he teaches generals about Arab stuff, and I survived an assassination attempt in Egypt, and like it gets to the point where it's just like silly because you're like, this guy says so much stupid shit. Taylor Swift's my ex-girlfriend, but then it's like, yeah, but I did work for Donald Trump. Like the CTO of the NSA literally said, the president wants you to write this software, and I literally thought to myself, I won't work for Donald Trump. I already decided I won't work for Donald Trump. Like I talked to this FBI guy about it. I was like, how do you feel like knowing that you work for Donald Trump? So there's me up there. This kid's probably the best athlete in the world, Michael Stewart. And then Kevin Valentine shouldn't hit on my girlfriend, which he didn't even look like that. And then Deborah Titus is probably the girl from freaking Elephant Revival. And like, who knows? Like David Payne's giant. Supposedly he was Howie Day. And here's Katie Britt. She's the second hottest behind Amanda Bynes. Oh no, I'm 8 minutes in. I was supposed to do a campaign video. No one knows if Matt Getz is capable of playing for the Astros, and everyone knows I'm capable of playing in spring training with professional baseball players and hitting about 280, which means that I could have improved my batting average, especially when I got a little bit stronger. So I think a lot of us are are definitely capable of being pro baseball players. Everyone knows that the Smashing Pumpkins are the best band, and they love the song Today. Wait, that's My Chemical Romance. That's Billy Corgan from the Smashing Pumpkins. Whew, I was very confused there for a second. What I'm not confused about is Yogananda, who is a very old clone. I mean, he's the guy from Soundgarden, and we don't know who the guy is next to the guy from Soundgarden. He's probably from Petra. But the guy from Metallica right there, who is this guy? I don't think he's that guy from The Spill Canvas. I think he's probably Eli Young from the Eli Young Band. He's probably Vincent from the TV show Eureka. I mean, but this guy's dead. Like, this guy just got... he didn't just get murdered. He just died. But this guy didn't get murdered either. The guy on the far left, he's just dead. Ole Anderson. I think that, like, people die all the time. But Tony Coppola is, like, the best speaker ever. But he's probably not as good of a book writer as Andre Agassi. Andre Agassi's, like, his book is so good. I mean, Tony Coppola, though, like, he probably writes pretty good books. Robert Rodriguez, like, he makes better movies, though. Like, I love Robert Rodriguez. Like, he's actually the shit.